Yes, Mr. Chair. Commissioner Walls? Here. Commissioner Pulaski?
Here.
Commissioner Mahoney? Commissioner Snell?
Here.
Chairman Duckman?
Here.
I do. My name is James Minnick. I'm from Columbia Township. I didn't prepare anything, but I have been watching the properties that, excuse me, I think the board is about to decide on something with some properties that you guys might release back into the county. I don't think that you've got a permanent decision on how you guys are going to do this. I just wanted to offer my input because I've been watching these properties for a very long time. I've invested a lot of my own time. There's one of them that I'm really interested in. I was going to try to help kind of steer the committee to do one of two things. I would love for these properties to favor me personally, and so that I'm able to get one at a very good price. But if we're going to make it, fair for everybody, and we all, go by rules that everybody can follow, you guys already follow a process, and I'm sure you're familiar with Title Check LLC out of Kalamazoo. They already perform 2 auctions for the county a year, one being this coming Friday. At any rate, you could either allow the properties to go back into their circulation and put them in next year. You could mock their procedure and do it on your own, and then create some rules for that. But I guess with the time that I have remaining, what I would suggest is keeping it away from a real estate company, keep this business between the public and the public. I would urge first that we give preference to local people, if there's a way to do that. But if I end with nothing else, is just keep a real estate company out of it, keep a commercial business out of it, keep an entity that doesn't have an interest between the public and the public. We can do things on our own. We're pretty smart guys. I know a lot of you. You're very, very smart. So anyway, that was what I came primarily to talk about today, was those properties. I think that we need to keep properties like that in the community. And if I do have time, I would even kind of tell you a story. So let's just say, for instance, you've got these properties that have been in a family forever. 1 minute. And the grandparents die or whatever, and the property goes to the kids. Now, wouldn't it be nice if the kids would go door to door to the neighbors and say, hey, we've got this property. Would you guys be interested in it? Because I know you have a vested interest in the community. That would be nicer than somebody saying later in life, hey, I got this real estate agency to sell this property for me. It's in development. They're going to hold it until they get more properties. And then one day it's going to be something good. And in the meantime, your neighbor's property now has fences on it, no trespassing signs on it. The kids can't cross their bikes on it because it was taking out of the community interest. That was kind of like a parable or something like that. But anyway, let's just keep these things as close to the community as we can, and keep commercial interests out of everything that we do. Thank you.
The minutes from last month's meeting, I assume you've got them read. Any corrections?
Mr. Chair.
We have a motion.
Support.
Motion by Pulaski, support by Snell. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, the same. Passes unanimously. Item 4B, Economic Group, EDC, is there a representative here? Welcome.
Good morning, Commissioners. How are you?
Morning. I don't believe I know you. It's my
Yes,
fault.
Alex Maston from the Enterprise Group. You have your JCBRA and your EDC semi-annual reports in front of you. I am here to answer any questions you may have.
Questions, board. Go ahead.
Yes.
Mr. Pulaski.
I appreciate the reports. I take note of the assistance given, where was this? The assistance given by the revolving loan fund to a small business.
Yes.
There's a remark made that it's a business that is women or minority owned.
Correct.
And I would note my own displeasure with drawing any distinction or discrimination between any businesses assisted by this loan fund. And so,
Take note of that.
thank you.
Absolutely.
Commissioner Snell.
Well, I'd just like to note that I agree with Commissioner Plesky.
I take note.
Any further comment? Okay, I need a motion of support to receive this.
Move.
Moved by Snell, supported by? I'll support it.
I'll support, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Supported by Pulaski. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same.
Thank you.
I don't care either way.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Move on to item C, facilities. Welcome, Rick.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. First up, we have the tower building structural engineering services that we discussed at the study session. In deference to Commissioner Bear, we do have this being reviewed by legal in terms of the indemnity clause, and we're working through it. I would like to certainly get this passed because we're scheduled to start here on the tower building Wednesday.
Got your letter?
My letter, yeah.
Might be doing it yourself. No.
I'll support that.
We have a motion by Pulaski, support by Snell. Now we move on to some questions I have. Are we saving money or spending more money bringing a third party in here?
This was a recommendation that our architectural consultant recommended, and I have to admit, Phil, I do agree with him. I think it's important to have a third party
Okay,
from the Masonry, recommended by the Masonry Institute Group of Michigan, just to make sure that we're doing everything possible to preserve this building.
okay, so the bill could go higher than we anticipated, but it's something more that would be needed that we don't have the capability of seeing.
I'm sorry, sir?
Something more than needed than we realize, possibly.
Possibly, but this is why I want a registered engineer to actually be up close and personal to the side of the building and just examine it using their expertise.
Okay,
It's money well spent.
okay.
If I may.
Yes, go ahead.
Rick, isn't this,
That is correct.
it's not necessary.
And the reading did specify it needed to pass here. Can't carry over next week. Okay, we have a motion and support, I believe, correct?
Yeah. I supported.
Okay, then we'll proceed to vote. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, the same. Passes unanimously.
Yeah, if you're gonna start next week.
You got it.
Thank you, thank you.
We'll move on to item D.
Next up, we have our recommendation for real estate services and some recommended properties that we would like to get going on. So what we did is we went out to bid, request for proposals on real estate services. We use CoPro, our purchasing department, if you will, to develop our specifications. We sent, actually, we put this on websites, and we also sent a personal invite out to all the Jackson realtors to bid on. We ended up with two. One firm from Detroit and one firm here from Jackson. I'm recommending the group from Jackson. The percentages are the same. I really recommend that we go this way. My background is actually in commercial real estate. I work for a little company called CBRE. It's actually the largest commercial real estate business in the world. And as much as I like to, I listened to what you were saying. It's just, I think we need to get the biggest bang for our buck from our properties for our taxpayers. I would certainly rather use a realtor than try to do this ourselves. I would certainly rather use a realtor than put this on an auction site.
Is there, I understand where you're coming from. Is there any disadvantage, or has it even been talked about to have the treasurer do the selling of the properties?
I'm sorry, Phil, having who? My hearing's gotten worse lately.
Yeah, I hear you. Is there any advantage, or maybe it's not even possible, to have the treasurer do the selling of the properties like she does the tax foreclosures?
I don't recommend it for this one because these are properties that the county's held for quite a while, for years. There's going to, with the problematic properties, there's going to take, it's going to take a real professional to get this over the finish line.
I respect your comment. I was just wondering about a lot of the sales, through the treasurer's office.
Yeah, it's just, they
It's a
just
different
aren't
sale.
really cut and dried like,
And actually, as I think about it, Karen also, anything didn't go at the auction, she was using a local realtor. So, yeah, I go along with that. Any other, Commissioner Snell?
Yeah, as a realtor, that's my life profession. I find that usually a realtor brings more than a personal sale between people. So, and we won't have to deal with purchase agreements, disclosures. It just, to me, is a win-win for the county. And yeah, they're commercial interests, but they're also taxpayers of this county. And this helps the whole community. Number one, like you said, we'll get the most bang for the buck that we can. We'll get more out of these properties than what we would if we tried to do individual sales. And we just don't have the staff to chase down every lead.
true.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair. Oh, Tony's got it.
Commissioner Bear, go ahead.
Good morning, Rick. I appreciate
sir.
the effort you've put into this. I got a couple concerns here on the cover letter, the current situation, the list of potential properties was discussed at the May 4, 2021 study session. Well, I went back and I printed out the list of 17 properties from our May 4 meeting. The current list of properties is not the same. There's 20 properties listed. And some of the properties that were on our May 4 presentation are not included in the current property list, and some of the ones on the current property list were not in the May 4. So this is not the list that was reviewed and accepted on May 4. So I'd like to know why that is. Also, a number of parcels acquired over the years means the tax dollars were used to buy these properties, tax dollars of Jackson residents. So I would definitely like to see that the Jackson residents who bought these properties in the first place, that they be given first shot at buying these. They contributed to the purchase originally, and therefore I think they deserve an advantage. So for me personally, I would like to see this offered to Jackson County residents only as a first pass. Then anything that doesn't sell, then we can open it up to the world. I don't want somebody from China buying any of these properties. I support our residents, our taxpayers. At the meeting May 4, we didn't have a majority opinion that we should go through realtors. There were persons like myself definitely did not like that. So I would like to see this handled without a realtor, because the realtors, I mean, that opens up, the realtor can offer it to their personal friends. If they see a property that has a good value, that somebody can buy it cheaply. So a realtor's not going to offer it to everyone in the county, where a county notice to citizens would do that. That's my comments. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman. Okay. First of all, we can't just give it to sell it to county residents on a preferential basis. That would violate so many fair housing laws that I wouldn't want to be here getting all the summons for lawsuits on that. Number two, they're going to be required to advertise these from the get-go. I mean, you could buy a property knowing that it's on this list already and try to get the best deal that you could. Realtors have very high ethics standards that they have to meet in order to keep their realtor designation, and without that, they're only a salesperson. So I feel, having done this for many, many years, I'm very comfortable with having a realtor take care of this sale for us.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Appreciate the chance to comment on this. I view it as our duty to maximize value to county taxpayers, and you do that only by engaging folks whose interest it is to get the best value, because that maximizes their commission, frankly. They have to do so with ethical standards, as Commissioner Snell has noted. And I would not want to sit here and answer a question by any county resident who said that somehow we provided an advantage to one citizen anywhere that we didn't provide to every citizen everywhere. And so I support the plan to sell the properties with all due respect to those who might prefer to buy them. They should offer the best price, and that will be the price it will be sold at, to the advantage of all concerned. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll move this on to the full board.
I'll support.
Phil? May I get an answer as to why the list we reviewed in May is not the same as the list that is up now?
Will, I would to some degree, but between Rick and I would tell you that May was our discussion of properties. It was our first pass at the list. And to be honest with you, I'd have to look at the list more closely to see what was or was not. But I would encourage everyone to take a good look at the list and understand where these properties are. Because we don't want to sell a property, then the board go, wait a minute, I didn't know that one was on there, that kind of thing. So we have until next Tuesday. We will, I would encourage everybody to take another close look and make sure you're comfortable with the properties that we're looking to sell, and we'll go from there. Is that fair enough, Tony? Well, the lists are different, I suspect, because what was somewhere along the line, something came up and we're like, oh, well, that's going to be problematic, or it's not going to be something we can sell, and we took it off. We put them on, we can take them off. It's pretty straight up. The list that we have currently is what we believe is sellable. If we find another piece of property, which is possible, or some other piece of property, that we haven't saw, do we have all of them, parks and JDOT?
We don't have all of the parks yet because that has to go in front of the Parks Board.
Exactly. I was going to
So
say, this isn't
you all get
complete
to
yet,
deal with that at that point in time.
but this is our first pass at this, and we'll sell more properties as the Parks Board deems them not necessary for parks, of which you're part of that board, so you'll get to have a say there, Parks Board. But the list could change. It could, for sure. It's, once you approve it to be sold, well, then it's not going to change. But you haven't yet.
When they'll be listed? No, we have to have the full board approval first. And then I would certainly love to get these properties listed as soon as possible. But again, our goal was to get this before you as soon as we could and go from there. And Tony, this list is going to be fluid. From what we presented in May was just potential properties. After reviewing it further, there were a few that I pulled out because they warrant further discussion. I'd like to talk to our realtor first to see if they're even worthwhile to bring them forward, or do we retain ownership? That's why there's some discrepancy there. But again, this is just, as Mike said, May was our first pass. These were potential properties. We've narrowed it down to this group that I think will do better. Yep, thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. So we're looking for approval to apply for a special license to have a cash bar at an event here at the Tower on New Year's Eve. So county staff are planning a fundraising event for December 31st. And this application would be required to have a cash bar. This is the same process that we follow for the county fair and for certain events that we've had at the Cascade Falls.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Discussion? Motion?
Move to approve.
Okay, we have a motion by Snell, support by Pileski. Send this to the full board. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Same. Passes unanimously.
Great, thank you.
Next up, we have finance. Item 4E. Welcome, Cecilia.
So what I'm here to talk about, to see if there was any questions regarding the presentation they did at study session regarding the ARPA funds to reimburse for public safety payroll. Were there any questions that help answer for that?
Really, there's no questions. We have a motion.
Thank you.
Support.
We have motion by Pulaski, supported by Snell.
Okay.
No further questions? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same. Passes unanimously.
Okay. Did you have?
I will move on to 4G, your monthly finance
All right.
report.
All right, so our financial statements for August is very similar to how we've been seeing the whole year, where our expenditures are below our benchmark. And the best way I can explain this, and really what it is that we've had so much turnover this year, that we've had open positions that have been hard to fill, and whenever we do get people in, then of course the benefits skewed, meaning that maybe they were a DB plan whenever they're here, and now they're DC, which saves us in budget dollars, or they had health insurance, now they have cash in lieu. Everything changes whenever we have turnover. So we are seeing in each of the departments, for the most part, a lot, savings in our personnel costs. That's the majority of why we're under budget. So I'm going to wait till our October payroll, our Friday's payroll gets posted, and I'm going to be working on our year-end budget amendment. And any savings that we have in our budget dollars, I'm going to be asking to move that over to our capital account, because we could use it there. But I'll work on all the numbers and that type of thing. So I'll project out the rest of the year with payroll and benefits where we're at. Were there any questions on August financial statements at all? Also looking at revenues, as of right now, our revenues are coming in like they need to be for our property taxes. So that's good too. So that's important.
Okay, no further questions? Okay, Commissioner Pulaski.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. And it's, when we look at revenue, September's got to be
Yeah.
a big month, because that's when
Yep.
property tax bills are due.
Yep, and so property taxes really start coming in middle of September, and then they also continue in through October. They start, by the end of November is pretty much where we have our property taxes in. But as of right now, things look really good as of the middle of October where we would be. So we still need 1.5 million to come in. I'll be happy, but but it does look really good. Things are looking really good with our property taxes. And as you know too, whatever our property tax budget is for this year is built into next year's. So it's important that it does come in how we budget for this year, because it does affect next year's budget, because we do a percentage.
Okay, no other questions? Like quick motion and support to acknowledge her report.
Move to accept the report.
We have motion and support to accept the report. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the same. Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
And 4H, IT Department. Welcome, Michelle.
Good morning. Okay, today, back from study session, we are looking at Project IT4, which is for Cisco Identity Service Engine replacement. As a reminder, our current system is affectionately called Alice Access Control Server, is end of life, out of date, and needs to be replaced. Do you guys have any questions?
Questions? No, we do not. I have a question.
Okay.
We're doing all this computer upgrade. Is the PC Solutions been selected as our sole vendor?
They are for this project.
Okay. Because I didn't, we only got one price on everything.
Sure.
Okay.
Yep, they gave us a really good deal as well.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, may I have a motion of support? Support? Support by, motion by Pulaski, supported by Walls. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the same. Passes unanimously. We'll move on to 4I.
Thank you. Next project is for IT project number 1. This is for ARPA funding. This is a project that we are going to be working with Challenger LLC to extend the fiber from the admin control building to the tower building at the airport so that they can increase their operations, enhance their opportunity to do business, as well as provide some opportunity for the businesses in the airport to do have some connectivity as well.
Okay, questions on this project? Support by Rodney? I'll make the motion.
I think he moved it.
Okay.
And this is
Support that?
I'll support.
Okay. I'm going to support it. Okay, we have support. We have support. All in favor indicate by saying aye. 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 Those opposed, the same? Passes.
Mr. Chair, while this one here is the price is under
17.
75, and you can't approve it, the only reason we put on here full board is it's ARPA money, and we have been all along saying we want to be very transparent, and we were taking it to study, committee, and then Tuesday night. That way, just in case someone does have a question or concern, they can come. So if it's just the same to you, I would like to continue the practice of moving them all through the whole process every month. That way, no one can say you slipped something through or whatever.
They will say it.
Okay, if you're good with that.
They will say it.
Okay, thank you. Well, they'll say it, but it won't be true.
Passes unanimously. Moving on to 4J.
Thank you for your support on that.
Go ahead.
IT project number 11, this is also a PC Solutions project. We will be working with them to replace the switch floor closets that are in and around the buildings in the county. There are many of them that are 10 years or older that need to be replaced. This is for all of the county buildings in one piece or another, and these are for the floor switches, not core switches.
Discussion. Okay, we have a motion by Snell, supported by Pileski. Go ahead, Mr. Pileski.
Thank you. I note that it's for all the buildings that we have at the county, and I would simply draw the attention of administration to the fact that I think we're going to do some kind of a facility study. I hope we're not going to be doing something here that we might, in short order, find to be obsolete. So that's simply, I'm something of a clanging gong on this particular topic. I'm sorry about that, but the facility study is near and dear to my heart because I think we can save some money. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
If I might answer that question to you, just to help make you feel better. That's a great question and a great concern, and it's good for the fiscal responsibility of the money that we're using. In the event that we do decide that we're going to close one of the buildings, we can actually pull that stuff out and repurpose it in another building, so it won't go to waste.
Okay. We had a motion and support. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Nobody? Passes unanimously.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you. Moving on to item 5. Need a motion support to pay the claims?
Support.
Okay, we have a motion and support. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? None? Okay, we pay our claims, so make sure you got them signed. I think everybody does. No other minutes. Reporting schedule for next month, Upper Grand River Watershed, the clerk, and Parks and the Fair. Comment? Any public comment?
Is that where we're at again?
You're up again. Just 2 minutes
I just
this
had a
time.
kind of a procedural question, because one day maybe I hope to be on this board. The $75,000 that you guys are okay to approve, if that, and you don't have to take it to the regular committee, if that goes over, was this a wrong procedure? Or is this going to be brought to the board next, the full board to make them aware of this and get an okay in case it goes up?
Public comment.
Oh, okay, well, it's something for you guys to talk about then, because you okayed $75,000. If it became $85,000, you can't approve that at this level. Just saying.
Okay, any other public comment? Go on to committee member comments. I'd like to make a comment, is our policy allows the purchasing of up to $75,000 to be done at this level. If it goes over $75,000, it has to be seconded by the full committee. So, yes, you observed it pretty much correctly. Any other commissioner comment? Okay, meeting's adjourned. Thank you. That's right, isn't it, Mike?
Meeting's adjourned, yeah. The meeting's over, just FYI.